if we don't meet, we can't be encouraged and uplifted by others. Maybe someone even wants to share something or speak a word into our life. Like we've missed that opportunity, or we've not even given them that opportunity for them to be able to share that message that's on their heart. And a lot of the times for online, most of the times we're just watching, right? We're not really participating. Sometimes we're even multitasking at that point. We're washing dishes, we're taking care of our kids, and then we say we're putting on church. So
Yeah.
like, are we actually fully immersed into
Facts.
church? Are we actually pouring in our heart and listening to what God has for us in that sermon? Yes, some people are, but is everyone really doing that? I don't know.
Welcome back to the Juxtaposition. I'm your host, Nana, alongside my one lovely co-host,
Janet. I'm here, and Bernice is not, but
Yep.
she'll be back. She's just out for the count for maybe,
I don't know.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, but she'll be
But
back.
we're here, and we're doing it anyways because we always are about to bring a fire episode back to you guys. We miss you
Facts.
guys.
We
Yeah.
miss. Well, I do miss you guys, but
Nana don't miss you guys. It
Nah, I
kind of
miss you
feels
guys.
like, I don't know, a lot. It felt like a long week, so it just felt like a
Yeah,
while. We usually are filming on Tuesdays, but now it's Saturday, so I guess it
Yeah.
just felt
100%.
long.
Yes, 100%, 100%. So,
Yeah.
but you're good though.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your blessing and blunder?
My blessing this week.
So sorry. A girl named Odelia, not a girl, my friend Odelia from my church.
Okay.
She said she listened to an episode and she listening, and then she's like, "Oh, blessing and blunder, what is that?" So she was kind of not confused, but like, "Oh, this is interesting." So once again, blessing and blunder is something we share in the beginning of our episodes to kind of tell you what our blessing was during the week and our blunder. Kind of like blunder is like
kind of a difficult time during the week, maybe a challenge that we face
100%.
that's not so nice, and then of course
100%.
blessing, a highlight of our week, and maybe what God surprised us with. Or yeah.
So what is your blessing
my
and
blessing
blunder?
Blessing, I gotta keep it simple. The weather's getting better, and I am happy about that. I can wear my sunshades. I can wear less, what's it called? Less jackets, less outerwear. And also this week, my manager was nice. He bought chocolates for all the allied staff. All the allied staff are like females, and he just treated us to some chocolates for the day, which is very nice, very kind of him. Blunder, it's been a really long week. A lot of stuff has been happening, personal wise, work wise. It's just been a busy week, but it's been good. But it's been a busy week, challenging, just requiring more of me, and more time, more effort.
Yeah,
that's all.
Oh, well, my blessing would be I got to play basketball with my friends today, and this is the first time I played in like 3 to 4 weeks, something like that. So I thought I fractured my hand, but I went to the doctor. They did an X-ray and they said there's no damage. So I just let my hand heal. But today there's still something wrong.
Maybe it's just like a pinched nerve. Sometimes when your nerves,
it's like this whole strip is like, if you hit it, it's
probably
there's
a
pain.
nerve. Probably a nerve.
I don't know, but it's still like, it's like 90% healed. There's 10%. I still feel it right now. So we're dealing with that. And then the blunder, I would say my blunder is just a lot going on family wise, friends and people dealing with stuff, and carrying that burden with them. So I just have to just pray for them. So
I feel like the season is just deep prayer, deep intimacy with the Lord, and just trusting in Him that things are going to be okay. And just, even if things don't look, nice and pretty and roses, this is a time to just dig in deep with Him and call out on Him.
Yeah, and I think it's less about myself. Like, I have to intercede for others. Like,
that's actually so true.
I really have to show up for others in this season and be a good friend. And it's whatever I can do, I'm gonna try to do. Because it's not about you. Sometimes it's not about you. Like, the stuff you got going through, you're going to put it off to the side and help others. So yeah,
it's true. But
so what's our topic today?
Our topic today, we're going to talk about, is church still necessary in our society, or can we just watch online? So we're going to hit you with a question and we're going to answer it and see what we think.
Hey TJP family, we got an ad.
Yes.
If you're in the GTA and looking for a night full of good vibes, great laughs, and even better community, listen up.
Mark your calendars for Saturday, May 17th at 7 p.m. 6:30 is when the doors open for Praise and Punchlines. This is a Christian comedy night designed for young adults. It's where worship meets stand-up, bringing joy, laughter, and the reset your soul's been craving.
The night is hosted and led by FTC No Limit, who will also be leading worship that night, and the headliner, none other than Faith with the Jokes, plus a surprise guest comedian you do not want to miss.
And oh, did I mention free food?
Huh?
It's catered by the Crave Table, so come in hungry.
Admission is free $99, but you do need a ticket. It's moving fast, so hit up at FTC No Limit on Instagram and grab yours now from the Eventbrite link in their bio.
Whether you're rolling deep with your youth group or you're coming solo, come as you are. Laugh hard, worship freely, leave full. We'll see you at
Praise and Punchlines.
See you there. Peace. With church just a click away, does gathering in person still matter?
100%.
Why? Tell us some more.
100% it still matters, because just to be able to do life with other believers makes your faith just 100% better. I'm in a season where I'm like 4 months into a new job at my church, and it's kind of bittersweet because it's like now I have to rebuild the friends and stuff like that. But just being at CCC, it's like I had so many great friends. Still do. I just hung out with them. But I just remember how nice it was after church or during church to just journey with them and talk about life and talk about certain stuff. And it's like, now I don't really like have that.
Yeah.
Kind of.
You're building that.
I'm building that.
Yeah.
So it's like now I'm in a tech position. So my mind is focused on, let's get the job done. Let's do that. I can chit chat throughout work, but where before, when I was in children's ministry, I could talk to volunteers, my friends, and talk to them after and stuff like that. So it's really important because you see stuff in yourself that you may not see if you're just doing life alone. I think a lot of people's situations can change with their faith if they just stepped out and went to church. Like, for real. Like,
yeah,
bro, you're not going to give church a chance. You are struggling to find a church. Like, keep trying. Like, keep stepping out out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So that's one of my points. A lot of people's situations can change if you just went to church. You can possibly get a job. And I'm not saying at the church, but someone referring you to their job. You can get mentorship. You can be a mentee. Like, there's so many different things. You can go on mission trips just through conversations and connections. Like, just so many things. You can get mental. Like, you can what's it called? Get therapy.
Yeah.
Through my church.
Yeah.
If you just you
connect
went and you're like, oh shoot, young adult service. Like, so many different things, right?
So many connections, and I agree. Like, I think gathering is still necessary and it still matters so much in this day and age. I'm just thinking of course, like the COVID times where people were isolated and people were alone. And I think more people struggled being alone than being with people. That it made people realize how much like gathering with people is super, super important because we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And we tried to find every way and every mean to do it safely. Social distance. Like, it could have just been like, no, you guys stay home, don't go out. But like, the government and the people around knew the benefit of people meeting together and how important that was for them. And so as we just kind of like dive in, like, God's design is for us to gather. Like, it is for us to be together. And just as it says in Hebrews 10:24-25, this is like a shorter version, not neglecting to meet together as it is a habit of some, but encouraging to one another. And just as Nana kind of said it previously, it's like, if we don't meet, we can't be encouraged and uplifted by others. Maybe someone even wants to share something or speak a word into our life, like we've missed that opportunity, or we've not even given them that opportunity for them to be able to share that message that's on their heart. And a lot of the times for online, most of the times we're just watching, right? We're not really participating. Sometimes we're even multitasking at that point. We're washing dishes, we're taking care of our kids, and then we say we're putting on church. So
Yeah.
like, are we actually fully immersed into
Facts.
church? Are we actually pouring in our heart and listening to what God has for us in that sermon? Yes, some people are, but is everyone really doing that? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And damn, I had a thought and it slipped my mind. But I think, oh yeah, for me, I'm in a season where I actually have to break out of my comfort zone and go talk to people. Like, it's so hard.
It is.
Like, we used to have something called growth groups, grow nights, and it's basically like Bible study nights.
Yeah.
And like, literally, it's like dinner, because we have dinner, and I literally have to go to the table and sit and talk to people.
Wow.
It's hard.
It is.
Because I don't want to talk. If I'm there especially combined with work, I don't want to talk. My natural instinct, guys, and there's probably a lot of you like that. Yes. I am not an extrovert. I am an introvert. And sometimes I don't want to talk to people. Yes. Like, leave me alone.
You're like, after service, don't find me.
But once I get into that realm of talking to people, my shell just breaks loose. Like, it just breaks loose. But yeah, I just have to be a little bit better. But
then it just reminds me of like the verse just quoting it. It's like, we're called to be a light, like as Seti said on the hill. Like, we're called to be bright and not covered up. So of course, like, our natural introverted selves want to like retreat and be away and be hidden. And the Lord's like, for me, you need to a little bit be out there. And following Christ pushes us out of our comfort zone. It allows us to be strengthened. It allows us to be like uplifted, right? So
do you think people are honest in their interactions with people at church?
Sometimes I don't think so. And
Are you honest?
Some days, no. I'm not gonna lie. I go out there and I ask those superficial questions because I'm dead inside. Like, after maybe children's ministry and the kids were chaotic and I've had a tough day and there was kids running around and beating each other up, for me to come out and to put my full self out, maybe not even 100%, maybe just 50%, I'm probably giving like 25% of what Janet can actually like give out. And that is so wrong. I'm sorry, people, but yeah, there were times he's just asking those questions. Oh, how are you? Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But natural Janet, like, if she really wants to have a deep conversation, Nana knows this. Like, I'll listen. I'll get deeper. I'll ask those questions. But I do feel like in that like lobby area, it's kind of like, I don't know. I want to expose. It's too exposed. Like, for it to share like deepest things that are happening. Like, I feel like most people don't want to share so much, including maybe myself. Like, I'd rather have like, maybe we're sitting down in like a little corner of the church or we're talking. But most of the time, people, I don't know if they're
that
going
is
deep.
true.
It's so exposed. Everyone's listening. Like,
yes, if you stand in the lobby, someone can walk past you. They can hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
like, there's not a lot of pockets to be a little bit discreet.
Yeah,
but how can that change for you? Because little story people know or people don't know. Yeah. I did children's ministry as well with Janet in COVID. Yeah. We did it for like 2 years, right?
I know.
Bro. And then I did it with Bernice for like another 2 years, something like that. But I was the same thing. After our children's service, I didn't want to talk to nobody.
You're like, and I think battery zero.
Exactly. And I think I probably missed out on some relationships or missed out on some blessings because I'm like, oh, how you? Oh, I'm good. Like, I could just remember people sitting down at like in the gym, knowing that I should ask them, are you okay? Like, is everything well with you and stuff like that. Yeah. But sometimes it's like you're so tunnel vision on, I need to go home. I need to figure, rightfully so. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That has to change. So
no, but for me, even though I find it hard to connect with people on a Sunday. Like when I do have that energy or extra, strength to do it, I do feel uplifted in their presence. I do feel like I left that conversation feeling like, okay, like I know how to support them, or if they supported me, or I've left a burden, like I've let some of
Yeah.
the burden that I've been carrying out a little bit just for them to help me and know
Yeah.
what's also going in my life, right? But if we don't share, that's like half the problem. It's the problem is half solved when we share it with others and actually allow them to take on some of that. Maybe they can support us by at least praying. Maybe they
Yeah.
can't support us by being with us all the time, but it's good. It's a good practice to know what's happening in everyone's lives, right? We're
Yeah.
called to do life together as Christ did life with other people, with his disciples.
There's a blessing in sharing. I think
Yeah.
there's the enemy tries to make us not share,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like I had a conversation with my friend Enoch yesterday. I'm like, wow, you gave me such a different perspective on what I was struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you were to just open up yourselves and just let the walls down,
Yeah.
you will see so many things flow from that conversation, because a lot of times God can speak to you through others.
Yeah.
And I think
yeah.
we forget that because we're like, I don't want this person to know my business. I think we say that at least twice a year on the podcast.
I know.
We say this same message on the podcast because it's very true. And it's like we need to share. Open up yourself so people can help you.
Yeah.
Obviously, it has to be people you trust and you love.
Mm-hmm.
But once you share and you get that out, watch some blessings flow from it.
For sure. And what I just think about is the growth that happens, the accountability that happens. Most people don't want it, but they need it, and you need it in the church community because that helps you grow in areas that you're weak in and see your weakness. Because if you're doing this journey alone, as we're going to get into, the church didn't do things alone. They did things as a community, right? They had meals together. They had Sunday afternoons. One thing I really, really miss from being at CCC is not being in children's ministry at that time in the early days, where we used to go out to eat and have a meal after Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, those were so good. And I think that's where we built, at least for me, that's where I built my community. That's where I got to know people. That's where new people got to join in and we got to know more about their lives. And, it also creates a space for those people who are new to kind of come along and maybe, we'll invite you.
How come we don't do that anymore?
You tell me. You tell
me.
Like,
even though I'm in a different
time,
church, but like
timing maybe.
It can be once a month.
No, for sure. But I don't know. It got lost
in the sauce.
People
Man's
still
be clicking up a little bit.
That's true.
Man's be low-key clicking up. I ain't gonna lie.
We also did click up for a period of time, but I feel
no, we still let mans in though.
We did. We ain't pointing people out here. It's not the time. It's not the place. It's about Jesus and community.
Hey man.
But yeah, seriously, like that's one thing I do miss, that created community for me. And just like sharing a meal really is.
Food is so amazing. It breaks bread.
Brings belonging.
Imagine breaking bread. That's one thing I desire for having a house and cooking, having Sunday dinner and cooking for the mandem and the geldom. Like, for the family. Like that would be so sick because that's just, food is a love language. And who doesn't like food and to watch stuff and to play? Fellowship. Yes.
That's it. When people get talking, when there's a meal, people get talking.
And that's why I personally loved, what was that thing we did at Pastor Olu's house? Connect something. Yeah. Well, basically at our pastor's house, we would have food and fellowship and just, I loved it. I mean, it wasn't that much items of food, but it was still good. Like,
it was a great meeting place.
But when it comes to the gathering, since I'm in tech, right?
Yeah.
In tech ministries, it's like a double-edged sword for me when it comes to the gathering, because it's like every time because we live stream to YouTube and we have quite a big following for others. I don't know, but we average like 1,000 people watching every Sunday. So it's like a double-edged sword because you want your numbers to grow, but at the same time, you want to see people come to church.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of have to find a balance of like, okay, do I want my numbers to? Me and my director have this conversation all the time. It's like, do we want our numbers to be super high, or do we want to see? But the goal is for people to come to church. That's the goal, regardless. And maybe for the live stream is for people in the States or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think, for me, I always have to check myself. It's like, okay, I do want large numbers, but at the same time, I still want fellowship and people to come to church and not just hide in their cocoon at home. And there's a season for it. There may be a season in your life where you can't go to church. Your church is too far, or you went to school, or
maybe you're
like,
pregnant.
You ain't trying to go to church like that.
Sick.
Like,
There's
exactly.
people are sick. Those are some.
There's many ways to I guess, like, not there's many ways. What am I saying?
Like there's not opportunities. How do you explain it?
It's okay.
Yes,
to be
there's
online.
some way. There's some circumstances.
Yes,
that's the word we're working for. Some circumstances that they're available
permit
to
you
us
to be online.
We're online for this period of time, but I don't think it's a forever thing. And I feel like why it shouldn't be a forever thing is it kind of hinders us from participating like actively in community and like the spiritual gifts for us. Like serving. Like, how are you gonna serve when you're watching online?
That's such a serving.
How are you gonna serve the people? How are you gonna join the ministry? How are you gonna, pour into others if you're watching online every day?
We need to bless others with ourselves.
Yes. Sacrifice.
Like, bless others with your gifts. Not everything is about you, bro or sis. Not everything is about your job. I have to sacrifice your time, like you said.
Yeah.
Volunteer once a month for a youth group or the kids ministry, because we need bodies.
Yep.
Listen, at Portico, at my church, there's an overflux of volunteers. But at CCC, we were struggling. People would just watch us struggling. You see us struggling too, and not want to like help.
And I think it's, as it says, you're a body of Christ, and individual members are part of it, right? Sometimes people care more just about their individual selves. And our society is like that anyways, too.
What is your individual self doing? What are you doing?
Like, they're caring about, like, I have so much on my plate.
I get it.
I can't serve. But it's all the me,
Listen, in CCC, I see the same 10 people every day for the 5, 6 years I've been there. It should never be like that. Whereas, like, at my church, granted, my church is bigger, so it is what it is. But sometimes I'm like, yo, where have you been? I only seen you for once a month. It's like, no, I want to do it, but there's so many people in the rotation. But that's not an excuse, because a smaller church like CCC, there still can be a bigger rotation, like when we're kids, because there's a lot of people there that can serve. But it's like people don't want to use their gifts to serve.
Yeah. Or they probably also don't know what their gifts are. Let's see that first. Some people don't know what their gifts are and where they should be used.
That's good.
Because, hey, if you don't know where you're good at and you don't know where you can be plugged in, you feel like you can't help anywhere.
Or they feel like they're not qualified enough to do the job.
Oh, I'm not that good at, teaching or leading kids.
Bro, all you gotta tell the kid to just be quiet and take them to the washroom. Sometimes you can play that role of like being just the enforcer or the body that's there, that's present, not just there.
It's true.
That's present.
But do you know how to love? That's simple. If you know how to love, you know how to. That's it. If you know how to love someone, those are the gifts. Then you can be in ministry. You can serve anyone.
That's good.
And anywhere.
If you know how to love, you can serve. Is that what you said?
You can serve. You have to learn how to love, how to be patient.
Do you know what serving?
If you love people,
do it.
You could be anywhere.
Do you know what serving, and I can speak for you for this one. Do you know how much serving has just worked on our characteristics just by itself, just by serving?
I've seen so much growth in myself.
Patience.
In my patience.
You're just to care for people. punctuality,
Yep.
being responsible, all of that by serving.
Gentle.
It will what's the word I'm looking for? It will exponentially grow your character by a lot if you were to just serve for a year.
Yep.
And watch what happens.
Just join a ministry. You can even just do the welcome team.
Real talk.
Just say good
you
morning.
Don't know how to speak to people? Join the welcome team.
That's it.
You're scared? Join the welcome team.
That's a good start.
You want to learn how to be a mom in the future or dad? Join kids ministry.
Or even if you're nervous and you just want to be like, I don't really know if I like kids.
See for
yourself. Great way to test yourself.
We are the church body. Let's make the body work.
Let's move as the body.
Move the body. Move
you
the thing.
You are a part of the body, but move as the body.
Move the thing.
You know, be a part. Be our arm. Be the leg. You know, but we all are going towards one goal.
You want someone to be got to.
You know, that's it.
But no, that's so true. You said if you can love, you can serve. That's all you need.
Yep.
You don't need this type of money. You don't need this degree. You don't need nothing. You don't need to be a mom or like something. Like you don't need to be in the church for 10 years. You don't need to have all this wisdom.
Yep.
You can do it if you can just love. So
you very, very much can do it.
You're damn right.
But what are for at least another importance of being in the church and being in community is like the practices that happen in the church. Like communion, like baptism, like prayer.
That's so true.
Like those things.
Yes,
they happen. You can watch them. But baptism.
That's a good point,
not the same.
Yo, that's a good point. It's like you're forever wanting to watch online, but you're missing out on those things that we're supposed to be practicing. Because yes, we're Christians, but we're also supposed to be practicing certain things. Am I wrong?
Yep.
Okay.
These practices require you to be physically in a building.
Physically there. You need to be physically. They can't send you the package. They can't send you the holy water to pour on yourself. They can't send you the bread and the juice so you could take communion. They can't. You need to be there. So you need to come. Go.
No, the verse, I don't want to butcher the verse. I was saying, guys, spiritual practices, guys, these require us to be in their presence. Physically in there. Not just mentally, but physically there. Like how, as we were saying, Nano's like, we can't bring a pool to your house to get you baptized. And baptism is supposed to be a declaration of your faith.
Yeah, and you need witnesses. Witnesses, yes.
People, right? Yeah. And so, damn, I forgot. Being in community, it's like where one or two are gathered.
The church is
he's there. He's present.
Yeah, he is present, basically.
Remember the verse, but you know, guys.
Yeah.
So literally, guys, communion is meant to be in fellowship. Baptism, it's a public declaration of your faith. So you need people to be around you, and things like laying of the hands, like anointing, prayer requires you to be physically there. I know, prayer is also there's such a platform for online prayer currently in this day and age, and I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Text if you gave your life to Jesus,
or even just videos, like Apostle Joshua Salmon. If you can't be in there, when he's praying, it's important. Listen to them, do the online stuff, watch it. Get your spirit fueled. But being in that actual atmosphere, I'm sure it's just a different level of connection, 100%. A different level of intimacy with Christ.
100%.
And
the spirit, you feel the spirit moving in the room. Yes, at home, if you're feeling it move at home, can you imagine how it feels when you're in the space?
Yeah, and people and thousands are packed in there.
Literally, we have a production room. If I'm let's say I'm doing a handheld camera, if I'm done my shift, if worship's done and I go back, some people sit in the production room.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I go to the sanctuary and I sit there, I feel it's different. Holy,
and even worship, that's worship hits different. It doesn't transcend online the same way when you're in there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes, it's being recorded, but when you're in there, you're like, ooh, I can hear the voice. I can hear the harmonies even more clearly. Yes. I can feel the emotion.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't feel emotion through the digital. You just have to be there. You just feel overwhelmed by the spirit. But yeah,
that's a good point. And also, I want to touch on this, even though it may not be a big point for people, but I think some people, well, yeah, some people cannot go to church or wouldn't go to church because of the dressing and stuff like that.
yeah,
But it's like you can.
that's a big thing.
You
Yeah,
gotta come as you are. Okay.
yeah,
Yes, I mean, I don't. I think there's still some churches that are still suited and booted,
yeah.
but my church, some people are suited and booted, some people are just regular. So go as you are. Like, don't worry about I gotta wear this. Church is not a fashion show. I went through that phase, and that phase, I'm not in that phase anymore. At all. I come in the same black pants for 5 weeks in a row.
Dang. I hope he has
yes,
black pants of the different kind.
No,
same
I
color?
washed them. Listen, I would have seen. I don't care because it's not about that, right? But I do like to get dressed up and nice and wear all that stuff.
Just your best for the Lord, you know.
I'll just recycle the same stuff.
Yes,
per se,
for sure.
Yeah,
but just the insight, leaving you guys with insight. If you have any other words before we kind of like close up.
No, not really. I really love the if you can love, you can serve. That's a point. That's a bar. If you can love, you can serve.
It's hard to love.
Be the church body. Yes. Go to church, bro.
If you can love like the Lord, he calls us to love. He served everyone. Everyone. The prostitutes, the tax collectors.
Yes.
Because he loved them.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to embody that too.
But
talking about online, we got to leave you with this. Online is a support, but it can't be a replacement.
Yeah.
It can't.
It's the lettuce. It's not the beef. It's not
the main meal.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not the main meal.
It's not. I love the online once again, but it's better in person. It's more helpful to your faith. And just to be able to fellowship and worship with people. And just make it a day. Like, make it a day to go out.
Exactly.
Go eat after.
Connect with people.
Connect.
Yeah. Don't just watch, guys. Be the actual church. Like, be the church.
And if you can't, if you're struggling to find a good church, keep trying, yo.
Yeah.
Keep trying and give churches a chance, because I've heard a lot of friends just be like, oh, I didn't really feel it. Like, okay, the pastor's not the God.
Yeah.
Like, listen.
We're meeting him there. That's a whole nother conversation in itself.
Let me not even.
And we've got stuck in that too. I won't even lie. I got stuck in that, like the glitz and the glam, because that's how media portrays online other churches on how their lighting looks, how their worship looks. But it's about the community atmosphere. When you go into that church, how do you feel when you get in there? Opposed to what they're showing. Because you can throw the glitz and glam and walk in that church and everybody be cold.
Yeah.
Don't say hi. But they got a great media team.
And that's why I don't put too much stock. This can be controversial, but I don't put too much stock in a pastor. Like, I don't put too much stock in a pastor. It's like, I hope in terms of how good they are. How good they are versus who they are as a person is two different things. Like,
for sure.
Hopefully your pastor is a great person. The morals is great. Doctrine, teaching straight from the word. But if they don't speak my language in terms of like their style and all of that, and like I prefer he speaks like this, I should still come to church because I know the people that I'm about to fellowship with is about to be sick. Okay? So don't put too much stock.
But I just want to leave you guys on these final notes, final challenge for you guys. Don't just watch the church. Be the church, join the family, and participate in the mission. That's
Facts.
It's, once again, and then going back, online is a supplement, not a replacement.
Yeah.
So the question we're going to leave with you, listeners, is have you used online church as a lifeline or have you used it as a substitute? Think about it. Talk about it. Say it in the comments.
Question. That's a good question.
Say it in the comments. Anyways.
Yeah, that's a good. I'm thinking about my answer. But yeah, I think,
is it the only thing that you're doing? Like, that's how I get my my word through online, or am I in the church serving and doing all the things and putting it into practice? Or am I just getting all the information and storing it but not using it? Because that's the hard part. Most people get all the information, write all the notes, but don't end up using it.
Facts.
It's easier to use it when you're in the church because there's people there and you can actually put the word into practice in your community.
Yeah, and someone like me too would probably have to go. Yo, I've been in ministry for so long. I don't remember the last time I actually woke up, went to a church, went home. Like I've done it for like New Year's Eve with Pastor Prince, but like a Sunday, I've done it with Pastor Trevor. But consistently, it's been so long. But I say that to say, it's just beauty to wake up and go to church and just
it is.
You know, and just chill with mans and stuff like that.
Both are important. Both are important.
Go to church, bro. Sis. Go to church. Not just on Easter and Christmas.
Yes.
Okay?
Try to connect with him.
That's when church is the most packed for us. Go to church. It's beneficial for your life.
And for your soul.
100%.
Anyways, guys. You guys know what to do.
Y'all are the bomb. Thank you for getting us to 400.
Let's just clap for our,
not 400,000, not yet, but 400 subscribers. I think we're at like 401. It's just a beauty to just have slow growth. I think it's very testing to our faith.
But it's also a testament to our commitment.
Yes.
And our consistency.
We just didn't just leave because we're not exponentially growing and stuff like that. We see growth. So we really appreciate it, to be honest. Like, that's a milestone.
And at the end of the day, guys, not to knock you guys down, but we're for the audience of one. So if he's happy with what we're doing, we should be happy with what we're doing. You guys are a plus to it all. Yeah. But if he's happy and he's allowing us to move others and for them to grow closer to him, that is our ultimate goal, to be able to connect people to Christ and make them go closer to him, not away from him. So
we're playing our part.
Yeah. Let us be part of the body in that way. But yeah, comment, like, share, subscribe. Tell us what you feel about this episode. What are your thoughts? What are your comments? And answer the question again. Is online a lifeline or a substitute for you in your walk with Christ?
Amen.
Anyways, we love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.